Incredible job of telling who his brother was in life, since everybody only got to meet him in death. So please give your attention to Floyd, George Floyd's brother.
To the Wright family, just letting you all know, from the Floyd family, y'all have our condolences. We will stand in support with you all. It's a shame. The world is traumatized watching another African American man being slayed. Every day I wake up, I never thought that this world can be in so much disorder like it is now. Police officers are killing us, and we are being murdered at a rate that I never thought I could imagine. This reminds me of Oscar Grant at the train at the Fruitvale in Oakland, California, where he was told to lay on his chest with his hands behind his back in the prone position as the officer accidentally mistaken to shoot him with a gun instead of tasing him. There was no need to even tase him.
Yeah.
Dante Wright, just like his last name Wright, he should still be here.
Yeah.
It's a time for change, and that time is now. Minneapolis, you all can't sweep this under the rug anymore. We're here, and we will fight for justice for this family, just like we're fighting for our brother.
Yeah.
To the protesters all around this nation, stand up.
Stand up.
We need you all to come out, because times like this, people need hugs. People need to be given love. This mom is grieving. What's that? This mom is grieving too. She lost her dude. This was the baby mother. She shouldn't have to go through what we're going through. Nobody should. This is a family that needs us to stand with them in solidarity now. We need you all to step up and be with us. And please pray for this family, because I'm praying for them, because I woke up in the morning with this on my mind. I don't want to see another victim of death. They claim it's homicide. They need to go back and look at what they're talking about, because homicide now, they're telling me my brother was the same thing, but I want to see the people get the maximum amount of time, just like I would have got the maximum amount of time.
Say that.
Thank you all.
And now we will hear from, which one, Rodney Floyd, the baby brother of George Floyd.
You know, we saw this video of this young man, Dante Wright, and the police are saying that the young man was running from them. But what I saw was on that man's face was a scared young kid, you know, terrified. You know, as black folks, we've been here 400 plus years. And that young man, we've been running ever since from these police officers for trying to kill us. Back then, it was called the slave patrol. Now they call it the police. So I started looking that young man out. The same terrified look I had numerous times when I got pulled over by the police. Ranging from 12 years old on up to a grown man today. Numerous people in our communities are faced with these cops who claim they are terrified of black people. Well, policing is not your profession. But you know what? We're going to stand with this family, and hearing this unfortunate young man, baby crying, and that baby's going to be crying for a long time. Crying for his father. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to deal with that today. His family is behind us, wife, mother, father, and this is what we're going to console them, comfort them. And you know what? Their father can't comfort the son. But thank y'all.
Thank you, Rodney Floyd. And now we will have the last member of the Floyd family to speak, Brandon Williams, the nephew of George Floyd, who was like a son to him.
I don't really have the words, but I do want to send my condolences to the family. I can't say I know how you feel, but we've been in a similar situation. I know that you need a lot of love, support, and prayer. And any way that our family can stand with you guys and be there, we're here. And to the world, I just simply say damn again. And when I say damn again, I mean another black man or woman killed at the hands of the police using excessive force. You look around, we're standing outside the courtroom, and my family is right here, right now, in the middle of the Derek Chauvin trial for murdering my uncle George Floyd. In snow and freezing weather conditions, we came to stand with this family. And for what exact reason? A so-called mistake, a handgun for a taser, it's unacceptable. You know, when is enough enough?
Amen.
Can you blame Dante for being terrified as a black man in the custody of police?
No.
Amen.
When you just watched here in Minneapolis, George Floyd murdered
Right.
at the hands of the very same police
Right.
who was unarmed?
Wow.
Let's take a second to think about that. At some point, we need change. At some point, we need better policing. At some point, we need officers to be held accountable,
Amen.
charged,
Amen.
and convicted.
Amen.
Just because you are the law don't mean that you're above the law.
Come on.
That's all I got.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Brandon. Trader Truth, you good? Okay. Let's come on, Mr. Get on that side. Yeah. Come on. Okay. All right. Now with George Floyd family standing right at their shoulders, we have the family of Dante Wright. We have his mother, Katie Wright, his father, Aubrey Wright, and the mother of Dante Wright Jr., Miss China Whitaker. Right now, you're going to hear from his mother and his father, and then you're going to hear from China and a few more of his family members. So please give your attention to Miss China Whitaker. No, I'm sorry. We'll start with Miss Katie first. Miss Katie Wright. China gonna build up. We got you.
I just want to talk a little bit about the day that I got the phone call from my son 2 days ago at 1:47 was the worst day of my life. He called and said he just got pulled over by the police. And then he said that, I said, well, why did you get pulled over? And he said, because I had air fresheners hanging in the rearview mirror. I said, okay, we'll take them down. He said he also, the police officers were asking about insurance. And I said, okay, when the police officer comes back to the window, put him on the phone and I can give him all of our insurance information. A second goes by and I hear the police officer come back up to the window and ask Dante to get out of the car. Dante asked for what? Police officer said, because, you know, I'll explain to you when you get out of the car. He said, am I in trouble? He said, we'll explain all that when you step out of the car. Dante, and then they asked him to put the phone down. Dante put the phone down. I heard some scruffling. He got out of the car and I could hear the police officers and scruffling with him.
Take your time. We with you.
We love you, sis.
Then I heard the police officer ask them to hang up the phone. They hung up the phone. 3 or 4 seconds went by. I tried calling it back to back to back because I didn't know what was going on. And I never imagined this is what was going to happen. I just thought maybe he was being arrested. And then when I called back, the girl that he had in the car answered the phone. And it was on a FaceTime. And she said, she was crying and screaming, and she said that they shot him. And she pointed the phone towards the driver's seat, and my son was laying there, unresponsive.
My Lord.
That was the last time that I seen my son. That's the last time I heard from my son, and I have had no explanation since then.
We with you, Miss Katie.
We got your back.
Please keep Mr. Wright, do you have a word to say? Okay. Okay. Now we're going to hear from China Whitaker, and we'll have Miss Naisha Wright speak for her brother Aubrey Wright. So please give your attention to this young woman who now has to raise her son without his father. Miss China.
The last time I seen Dante was when I had dropped my son off with his grandma, and I didn't know that was gonna be the last time that I was gonna see him. And I just feel like that's so wrong because now my son, he don't have a dad. His dad didn't get to see him for his second birthday or for any of his birthdays, and I'm just so messed up about it because, like, I feel like they stole my son's dad from him.
Thank you, China. They did steal them. And now we're going to hear from Naisha Wright. This is the sister of Mr. Aubrey Wright. And she's going to speak from the heart and say some of the things that her brother is too heartbroken to say. So y'all please give your attention to Naisha Wright. Hey, you want to get from the mic so they can hear you?
Say his name!
Dante Wright!
Say his name!
Dante Wright!
They murdered my nephew. She killed my nephew.
Listen!
Every pistol, every taser, it has a safety on it. She saw that she had to release that. I watched that video like everybody else watched that video. That woman held that gun out in front of her for a long damn time. A long damn time.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
My nephew was 20 years old.
Tell him
20 years old. I don't care what nobody got to say about him. He was loved.
Yes,
he was ours. He came from us. My brother and my sister's hurt. Like I said, this is no broken home. This is no broken home. This is 23 years of love. 23. My nephew was 20. Did y'all not see my little great nephew? Did y'all not see that beautiful baby? He is fatherless. Not over a mistake, over murder. Come on. That's murder.
Murder.
Say his name.
Dante Wright.
Say his name.
Dante Wright.
I wear this shirt. And the craziest thing is to find out today that my family has connections to this man, to this family. His girlfriend was a teacher for my nephew.
My Lord.
Yes, that's true. My nephew was a lovable young man. His smile. Oh, Lord, the most beautiful smile. Y'all took that. My nephew's blood is on y'all hands.
Listen.
Tell him
I've never seen my brother hurt like this before. Never. To hear my brother and to see my sister's pain. Come on. Hold her accountable. Hold her higher than accountable. You train people on this stuff. You train people on this stuff. 26 years. 26 years.
Kimberly Potter.
Say whatever you want to say.
Y'all took him. They need to pay. She needs to pay. Yeah.
They didn't ask to be.
Say his name. Say his name.
Dante Wright.
Say his name.
Dante Wright.
Say his name.
Dante Wright.
Dante Life Matters.
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 Black Lives Matter.
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 And now, we will hear briefly from his cousin who was his age, Mario Greer. He's going to briefly tell you from a young person's perspective what they're going through.